So let's talk about open relationships. I mean, even saying that out loud 10 years ago sounded like something you'd only whisper in the back corner of a swinger party, or like the weird thing your uncle muttered before his third divorce. And now it's everywhere. It's in Google search trends, TikTok think pieces, and every other therapy session that starts with, "So, we were kind of thinking of opening things up." Suddenly, it's not fringe anymore. It's brunch conversation. It's Slack jokes. It's mainstream enough that, honestly, your HR manager probably has a secret tab open right now titled, "How to Tell My Mom I'm Non-Monogamous." Most of us grew up with monogamy as the script. Not a choice, not a suggestion, the default operating system. You meet someone, you date, you commit, you lock it down, exclusive or bust. But here's the thing, exclusivity isn't gravity. It's not a law of nature. It's a cultural setting we've been treating like physics. And what's happening now, people are basically saying, hey, maybe gravity isn't the only thing holding two people together. Maybe there's, I don't know, jetpacks. And look, let's be real about why people are even curious. It's not just some moral awakening, it's biology. Humans crave novelty. That dopamine hit from newness? Yeah, our brains are basically toddlers with juice boxes. New faces, new restaurants, new everything. Monogamy over time can start to feel like eating the same meal every single day, and sure, it's comforting. But eventually you're like, hey, okay, what else is on the menu? So, open relationships are basically this awkward attempt to reconcile two opposite cravings, stability and novelty. Like you want the safe home base and the thrill of adventure. It's like wanting Wi-Fi that's super secure but also wide open to the whole neighborhood. Good luck with that. Now, here's where it gets deeper. A lot of people assume open relationships are just about sex. And sometimes, yeah, it's sex. But a lot of the time, it's about identity. For some people, it's the honesty. They don't want to fake it like they never notice anyone else. For others, it's autonomy, the idea that loving you doesn't mean owning you. And for a few, it's growth, because nothing will expose your insecurities faster than watching your partner walk out the door dressed to impress for someone who isn't you. Suddenly, you're face to face with your fear of abandonment, your self worth questions, all those attachment wounds you swore you already handled in therapy. Surprise, they're back. And speaking of attachment, this is a big one. I mean, like, if you're anxiously attached, an open relationship can feel like emotional Russian roulette. Every time your partner goes out, your nervous system is screaming, that's it, they're leaving, it's happening, I'm being replaced tonight. Ayar. If you're avoidantly attached, openness can sound like a dream. Cool. No one will smother me. But the reality, intimacy still scares the hell out of you, whether it's two people in your bed or five. The couples who make it work aren't the ones with no issues. They're the ones who know their issues and can actually say them out loud without imploding. And then the monster under the bed, jealousy. Look, jealousy doesn't just disappear because you've read a progressive think piece. It's there. Sometimes obvious, you feel that gut punch when they text someone else. Sometimes sneaky. You pick a fight over dishes when really you're mad about last night's date. Jealousy isn't failure. It's just being human. The ones who last don't pretend it's gone. They analyze it. They ask, okay, what's the fear underneath? Like, is this about my partner or is it me worrying I'm not enough? That level of honesty takes some serious guts. I've seen both sides in therapy. There's the couple who swears, well, we never get jealous, yeah. Yeah, sure, and one of them is silently choking down resentment like expired yogurt. Then there's the couple who admits, yep, I get jealous all the time, Ashaya, but actually talks about it. Guess which one lasts longer? Spoiler, not the yogurt couple. And let's not forget the admin side of all this. Open relationships are basically project management with feelings. Scheduling, boundaries, constant negotiation. If monogamy is plug and play, openness is advanced settings with like 16 submenus you never knew existed. You cannot wing it. You have to say things like, yeah, I'm cool with you seeing other people, but please, don't take them to our taco place. I will spiral. That's not being petty, that's clarity. But here's the bigger danger. Contempt. Gottman's research shows contempt kills relationships faster than anything. And in open setups, contempt often dresses up as superiority. If you were evolved, you wouldn't be jealous. Or if you were secure, you wouldn't care. That's not enlightened. That's just being mean with extra steps. If openness turns into a competition about who can pretend to care less, congrats, you're not enlightened. You're just jerks in better outfits. Now, to be fair, I've seen it succeed too. Couples who got closer because they were finally honest. Partners who rediscovered attraction for each other after exploring outside. People who realized love is less about exclusivity and more about consistency, choosing each other even when novelty is an option. But let's not sugarcoat it. It's hard work. It takes self-awareness, boundaries, emotional regulation, and honestly, the ability to laugh at yourself when it all gets weird. And it will get weird. Double booked dates, moments of doubt, fights at 2 a.m. about whether your partner's new fling is hotter than you. That doesn't mean you're doomed, it just means you're alive. So what's the takeaway? Open relationships aren't some magic fix. They won't instantly make you happier, sexier, more enlightened. They're not for everyone, but they can work if you actually do the work. That means naming fears instead of hiding them, talking way more than you ever thought possible, and yeah, holding on to humor, because without it, the whole thing collapses under the weight of admin and awkward silences. Here's the real deal. Openness like monogamy only works if you're willing to stare down the messy parts of being human. Boredom, jealousy, insecurity, freedom, safety. You don't escape those no matter what structure you pick. The question is just whether you're honest about it. So yeah, open love is like driving without a seatbelt. Risky, exhilarating, maybe freeing. But it only works if you actually know how to drive, if you're paying attention, and if you don't pretend your car is flying when it's obviously just a Honda Civic with way too much emotional baggage in the trunk. And let's be real, most of us are out here with one headlight out, low tire pressure, and a check engine light we've been ignoring for 6 months. That's relationships. Nobody's in a brand new Tesla of love. We're all just patching up the Civic and hoping it makes it to the next exit. And if you do open it up, that Civic doesn't become a limo. It becomes a carpool. More passengers, more luggage, more chances someone's spilling coffee on the seats. That's why communication isn't optional. It's not a nice to have. It's the steering wheel. You let go for 1 second, you're in a ditch. But listen, I don't want to be the Debbie Downer of non-monogamy. Some couples absolutely thrive in it. They build emotional muscle in 6 months that most people don't build in 10 years. Jealousy regulation, radical honesty, flexibility. They become fluent in each other's fears and desires, and sometimes openness deepens their bond. Because when you strip away ownership, what's left is choice. Choosing each other every day, not because you have to, but because you want to. Of course, I've seen the flip side, too, the couples who say, we're open, but really mean, we're ignoring our real problems and hoping random hookups will distract us. Spoiler, it never works. Resentment, poor communication, contempt, they don't disappear just because you added new people. And if anything, they get louder. An open relationship doesn't heal a broken one. It just amplifies what's already broken. So what does it actually take? Respect, patience, humor. If you already treat each other like contestants on a bad reality show, adding more contestants won't help. You'll mess up. You'll say, sure, I'm fine. When you're one tequila shot away from sobbing in the bathroom, that's normal. The key is circling back, repairing, recalibrating, and for the love of God, laugh. Because if you can't laugh when your partner double books date night with trivia night, you're toast. And since you're still here, here's your homework. Nothing wild. First, do the pizza test. Order one together and see how you negotiate toppings. If pineapple versus no pineapple sends you into a tailspin, maybe pause before juggling multiple love lives. Second, write your non-negotiables. Don't just assume your partner magically knows. Spell it out. No exes, no coworkers, and please, no taking someone else to our taco place. Treat it like a Wi-Fi password. Nobody likes guessing wrong. And third, jealousy check-ins. I know it sounds cheesy, but put it in the calendar, 15 minutes. Literally ask each other, what came up for me? What came up for you? What do we need to tweak? Not romantic, sure, but a hell of a lot cheaper than $200 therapy. Bonus homework? Laugh, not in a dismissive way. In a we're ridiculous humans fumbling through this together kind of way. Because at the end of the day, whether you're monogamous, open, poly, or just confused, the point isn't how enlightened you sound at brunch. The point is whether you can sit across from your partner after the jealousy, the mess, the awkwardness, and still say, you matter to me enough to stay in this Civic with you, rattles and all. That's the point. Not to prove you're cooler, freer, more progressive. Not to chase novelty until you collapse. The point is to keep choosing each other through freezer cake fights, through Google Calendar chaos. To know the difference between healthy challenge and quiet contempt. To hold on to humor while still making space for the fear underneath. So if you're wondering whether open love could work for you, don't ask, are we evolved enough? Ask, are we honest enough, kind enough, strong enough to admit when we're weak? Because that's the real work, not the labels, not the lifestyle, just the courage to be messy, vulnerable humans together. And if you can do that, then maybe, just maybe, open love isn't a car crash. Maybe it's just another road, bumpy, unpredictable, sometimes hilarious, sometimes terrifying, but still heading somewhere real.